Happy Sunday, beautiful people. So, today I want to go a little bit back to last week's video in regards to your good not necessarily being God's good. I want to touch base on that topic because I also wanted to include the topic of assignment. When we are doing good as a people, individually or as a whole, for the most part, we think that it's what's expected of us, and it's what's needed of us, and it's what's wanted of us, and that may not always be the case. If the ego gets involved and the outside world gets involved, we're just doing it for the clout, for the props, for the likes, the shares, and subscribes, and not for actual purpose from within most of the time. Now, I'm going to give an example as far as when to know you're done with your assignment and you're good being good, but not God's good. God wants us to lead our children and to guide our children and to protect our children, and to love our children, and to support our children. That does not mean hover our children. That does not mean shelter our children. When they get a certain age and gain a certain perspective and level of knowledge, your assignment is done in specific categories. We got to learn to let go sooner or later. That's just one example. Another example can be when you're at work and you know for a fact that something has to get done, but you feel as though it won't get done if you don't do more. But there are parts to each construct. So if all of these parts are in place and doing what they're supposed to do, which these days is kind of hard to come by, but for the most part, there's somebody in place that's supposed to take over from one end to help move on with the rest of whatever that is, whatever it is you do as far as work goes, whatever you do as far as life goes. And if you are doing that person's part as far as you finished your assignment, but now you're doing their assignment, you're pretty much allowing them to cheat, first of all, off of your assignment, because they're taking from you what they should be doing themselves. And then on top of that, you're not helping them by doing for them and not allowing them to do for themselves. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I apologize. So we come across these situations where we feel like what we're doing is good, and it's good, At the same time, is it God's good? Is this what God wants you to do? Or is this where God led you to for someone else to take over from here and do their part as far as your assignment and their assignment? There's a cutoff. There has to be a cutoff. It's important. Everybody plays their part. And once you do your part, everything else has to fall into place. Sometimes we don't know, as far as what that good is, but we feel it inside of our guts as far as, okay, I've done enough and it's time to stop. And if we go with that gut feeling more so than the outside world and what we want people to feel and think rather than what we know we should do, we will be much, much better off as a people. I just really, really, really wanted to get back to the whole good and God's good, and then add on the assignment part, because it's really, really important to understand that if you're able to. Everybody's not able to understand their assignment, and that's where the lessons are learned. If you are able to, that's a gift and a blessing, that that's something that you're able to acknowledge. And, it could be because of ego. It could be because of ignorance. There could be many different things that don't allow people to see things a certain way and have the same perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is, once you are aware of what your assignment is, do your assignment and move on to the next assignment, not moving on to take over the same assignment, but that being somebody else's responsibility. As far as there's 3 parts to a source, and then you decide that you want to be all three parts instead of just your one part. That's not cool. That's not going to work. You're going to overwork yourself. You're going to pretty much not allow those other two parts to do their part, which makes them weak. We don't want that. Whether it be a situation, whether it be a person, whether it be a job, regardless of what that is. Let's just try to understand what our assignments are and to stick to those assignments, because if we don't, we will fail, and then we'll have more work to do that's going to take away from what we're purposed to do. I hope that makes sense to you guys, because I'm doing my best here. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I pray that you have an awesome week. Peace.